Good afternoon. This is Tamara, the Membership Engagement Manager with SMTA. I'd like to begin by thanking you all for attending the SMTA webinar. Today's webinar features a group of panelists made up of both SMTA HQ and of SMTA members. From HQ, we have Courtney Kalb and McKenna Hill, our SMTA Exhibitions Managers, Carly Severinson, our SMTA Events and Administrative Manager. Our member panelists include the following: David Krudoff with our San Diego chapter and VP of Sales with Creative Electron Incorporated, Greg Vance from our Ohio Valley chapter and Senior Project Engineer with Rockwell Automation, and Andrew Daya, currently with our Oregon chapter, but will be relocating to his new position as SMT Engineer with Forefront Solutions in Erie, Pennsylvania. In today's webinar, we will be going over our upcoming virtual SMTA International, and we will be working to answer your questions. We will start this webinar with a virtual walkthrough of the events platform provided by Carly and McKenna. After, we will open the floor for questions directed at our events team regarding vFairs, softwares, Expo and conference logistics, Discord use, and all related matters. Then we will turn our questions toward our member panelists to answer your questions about user experience and personal advice for navigating your first virtual event. Before we conclude, we will open the discussion for any last-minute questions to make sure everyone has found the answers they needed. Please keep in mind that you may submit a question at any time through the webinar interface. This webinar is being recorded and you will be provided a link for rewatch and for sharing in 48 hours. And with that, I will turn this presentation over to you, Carly, for a virtual walkthrough. Thank you again for being with us today.
Thanks, Tam. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining our SMTA International pre-event webinar. So right now I'm just started on our SMTAI main webpage, and this is where you're going to get most of your information for the conference, special events, our expo, and some virtual experience information. So right off the bat, I want to point out this attendee guide that we just uploaded to our website. So if you click this button, it'll bring you to this document, and it pretty much will lay out what we're going through today, but I think it's gonna help you all if you print it out and just have it on the day of logging in. It's a good resource to make sure you have on hand. And I want to also discuss Discord. So we're going to use this open discussion forum. This will help you communicate with all the attendees, especially for the conference. You guys can talk about presentations or challenges that you guys are facing, so on and so forth. And for Discord, you're going to have these links here, but if you click on them right now, they are going to say that they're inactive. So you have to go through these steps to create your own Discord account, and then you're going to click this add symbol. You're going to want to copy and paste the link that was shown above into this join a server, and then you're going to click join, and that will bring you to this page here once you're going through Discord. And you can go into each track. We also have a women's leadership program track as well for those ladies. And this is, like I was saying, is where you can go in and chat with everyone. You'll see all the other members that are online. A nice thing about Discord is that it has the option to go through video and voice chat as well, not just text chat. Let me get out. And the helpful thing that we just created for Discord is, so if you go to the technical program, when you're back on the main SMTA page, we labeled or numbered all of the presentations. So you don't have to go and say, did you guys see the case study, blah, 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 paper. You can just say that I had a question about 153. And when you're on this technical forum or conference page, you can search by number. So I can type in 153, search, and it'll pull up the paper that everyone was talking about. So going on to our login page for the event platform, that page is www.smtai.org. That'll bring you to this site here. So you're going to click login on the upper right-hand corner, and your email and password are the ones that you guys created when you registered for the event. So once you input those, you'll click login, and that will redirect you to our virtual event lobby. So right here on the back wall are sponsors that if you click on their logo here, it will bring you directly to their exhibitor booth. We also have clickable images. This will bring you back to the main SMTA International page if you need any other information. This will eventually go to our event guide that will be posted next week. Here's some membership information, our 2020 membership award winners, special events, and this signed off to your right here is for exhibitors that have new products for 2020. So up on the top here is our navigational bar. You can go through our virtual event by clicking on any of these. You can also go to the conference on the right-hand side here and the exhibition on the left-hand. So I'm going to be talking about the conference and let my colleagues talk about the expo. So if you are a paid attendee, you can go to the conference by clicking on the navigation bar up at the top or on the right-hand side. To enter into the technical presentations, you'll need to click the main screen. So we have all of the presentations laid out by track, just like it is on our main SMTA National page. From there, they are all alphabetically listed. And if you want to view a presenter's bio, all you'll need to do is click on their name and it'll pop up. To start streaming a presentation, you're going to want to click play and it'll automatically allow a browser to pop up. We also do have a Q&A form that you are more than welcome to use. A lot of presenters have included their contact information in their presentation, and you're welcome to contact them that way. We also have this Q&A form for you as well. And once you submit a question, please check back within 24 hours for your answer. We also encourage presenters and attendees to rate the presentation that you stream. It's really helpful for the presenter to get some feedback as well as SMTA on the topic. McKenna and Courtney, would you like to continue with the expo?
Hi everyone, my name is McKenna. I'm one of the expo managers at SMTA. For right now, I'm just going to walk you guys through the expo hall and give you a better idea of what that experience is going to look like. So when you first enter the expo hall, you're going to see all the booths that are in the front. And then from there, you can scroll to the arrow that's on the right-hand side. And through there, you'll be able to see all of the different booths. You can also go down to the exhibitors index, and that's going to be an alphabetical list of all the different exhibitors. And then lastly, on the top, you can look for search for a booth. And that's just another way that you can search for those different booths. So for example, if you type in SMTA, click on SMTA's booth, it will pop up right there. Just gonna wait while it loads there. All right, perfect. So if you go down to the videos tab at the bottom, that's where you're going to see all of the different videos that the exhibitor uploads. From there, it'll be the same with the document section. So every time somebody adds a document to their booth, it'll pop up here. You'll also see to the right-hand side that there's an option to add it to your swag bag. So each attendee is going to have their own briefcase or swag bag. And from there, they can add different documents that they want to save to that tab up there. Then from there, they can either email it to themselves or view it right from that briefcase. Also at this bottom toolbar, you'll see that you can add different LinkedIn, Facebook, social media features. And then you can also add any YouTube links or anything like that. This tab here is fully customizable. So if you want to add any like upcoming features that you have or upcoming products, you can do that in this tab as well. From here, I'm going to show you guys the chat feature. So once you click on this, it will actually take you to a separate window. And then from here, each attendee will automatically be in the group chat for that booth. So for example, if we logged into SMTA's chat, it would look just like this. And any messages that they put into here, everybody in that group chat will be able to see. If you'd like to start an individual group chat one-on-one, this is where you're going to see all of the attendees that are online at that point under this online user section. From there, you'll be able to press chat now next to their name, and it will pop up with a new window, and that attendee's information will be shown on the right-hand side. From there also will be a video icon that pops up, and that is where you're going to be able to start those video chats with those attendees if you choose to do it that way. Okay, and then going back to the booth page, all of these different templates in the booths are fully customizable as well. So you're going to have your option of 5 different templates. This is just the one SMTA specifically chose. But then from there, all of these different boxes, you can add anything you would like. So you can do different logos. We actually chose to do live demos in this tab on the left-hand side. So if you would like, you can link that to an external Zoom account, and that can be where you provide your live demos. We also linked the one on the right-hand side to our website, but you can link it to whatever you would like. And that is the gist of setting up your virtual booth.
All right, thank you so much. Now we're going to get started with our questions.
Sorry, I did want to mention we do have an attendee click contest. So if you go to the leaderboard section up here in the navigation bar, this is where you'll see our contest point breakdown, as well as who is kind of the top, I believe, 20 or so. And this is where you can see what action gives or gets you points. And so the highest, or the 3 highest point individuals will win 3 prizes. So for the first prize is a Peloton bike, which is about $2,500 value. And the second place is the Apple or Android watch. Whatever pairs best for your phone is what we'll go with. And the third place is a Sonos or Bose speaker. So a Sonos speaker is an exceptional speaker, but it needs to be connected to Wi-Fi. You can also play it through an app, and you can have other individuals download the app and you can all play music. Where the Bose speaker is just kind of like a wireless speaker where you can connect through Bluetooth and play music from there. But we really encourage everyone to, open documents, videos, stream presentations, chat with exhibitors, click into booths, as well as filling out our event survey. This survey is really important for SMTA to get some knowledge from you guys and feedback from you, kind of what your experience in your job, new technology trends that you'd like to see SMTA speak about for next year in webinars, kind of chapter events as well. It just really helps us set up our future.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Carly. So we're going to start with our first question, and I think Carly, Courtney, or McKenna, you'd be able to answer this. We have a question that says, I can't access smtai.org. I get a 403 forbidden message. Does anyone else have that issue?
I would firstly ask, I would type in www.smtai.org. It should bring you, or sorry, it is HTTPS.
I think if you leave out the www,
Yeah,
it
sorry.
works.
That was the issue. So if you can either, I think the best point would to bookmark this page specifically so we don't run into that 403 issue. But thank you, Courtney. Yes, it's just smtai.org.
Perfect. All right. So we have another question here. Will we be able to see the recorded video after today? We also had another one about recordings. This is being recorded. Everyone will be given a link within 48 hours. And it will also be uploaded to our YouTube and shared on our social media. All right, our next question, will you go over how to navigate this as an exhibitor, not an attendee? I think we covered that. Do we feel comfortable with that? Courtney, McKenna? All right.
Yeah, I think for the most part, we covered that.
All right, and
yeah, this is Greg, Tam, if I may just interrupt. If there's an exhibitor online that would like additional interaction on the virtual platform, just let Tam know and she'll take your information and someone will follow up with you.
yes, I believe Courtney and McKenna are doing personal walkthroughs for exhibitors that need extra help. Does each booth have a setup chat room?
So each booth does have their own specific chat room. So when each attendee goes into a chat within a booth, they're going to be automatically entered into a group chat. And then from there, you can start those individual chats. And that's just going to be within each booth.
Perfect. Will technical conference attendees automatically be registered for the Expo?
So if you register as a conference attendee, you will gain access to everything. Whereas if you only register as a Expo only attendee, you won't be able to click this conference area and this tab will also be hidden.
All right, in the Expo chat feature, can multiple people from either side participate in the conversation from multiple remote locations?
Yes, so when we were in the chat feature, McKenna kind of talked about how there will be online users. So the same thing will go for any booth reps. They'll be listed on the side and you'll be able to click on a specific booth rep and talk to them. So you can access this from many different locations and everybody will be able to have their own chats, their own individual chats, but that group chat will still remain the same for everyone.
All right, I have another one. This is a 24-hour event. Do you send daily updates regarding who visited each day or only at the end?
So you'll get those full analytics following the event. However, though, when you are in a chat, like I showed during the demo, the attendees' information is going to be on that right-hand side. So it will say their name, their email, their company, and their position.
Perfect. All right, and then I had another one about how can I network during this Expo? Carly did go over that you can use the Discord and that's for the conference and that is super helpful and very well organized. So please everyone take advantage of that if you can. For people that are just joining the Expo or want some extra networking, be sure to use the hashtag SMTAI 2020 and post on your social medias, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Make sure to post and search so that you can find the people that are attending at the same time as you. All right, I have another one. If you are registered as an exhibitor, do you also need to register as an attendee?
So you will not need to register as an attendee if you're an exhibitor. You will create your login and your password in step 5 of the booth setup. And if anyone has any questions about this, you can shoot me an email. But you'll make your own username and password, and then you'll log in when you get to that smtai.org. You'll just click the login up in the corner, and you'll just use that username and password to get in.
Thank you.
And each rep will have their own username and password.
All right. We have another one. Are exhibitors supposed to be available from 9 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. for the 3 days?
You definitely do not have to be on 24/7. We suggest you being in the booth as much as you can, but if you don't want to be in the booth, obviously from 11:59 to 8 a.m., the exhibit hall in each booth, in the chat feature, you have the ability to add an announcement. So basically that is going to pop up every time somebody goes into the chat feature of your booth. So in that announcement page, you can say, this is going to be the hours that we're going to be in the booth, or hey, we're going to be at lunch for an hour. So that's just a good way to notify all the attendees if you're in the booth or not.
Thank you. We have another one. If someone went to your chat and if no booth reps were present, would you still be able to see that someone was there?
So you'll be able to see, sorry, I accidentally hit my camera instead of my microphone. You'll be able to see that they were in there once we send out the reports after. Unless they were to send something in the group chat, you wouldn't be able to see that they were in there like live, but after the fact, you will see that they clicked and went into your booth.
Thank you. Can you schedule meetings through the platform?
You cannot schedule meetings throughout the platform, but like I said, you'll get that information on the right-hand side when somebody enters your booth. And then from there, if you want to set up a meeting, maybe through Zoom or through the video chat, you can say, hey, are you going to be available for a video chat at this time? But we do not specifically have anything to set up those meetings, no.
All right, I have another one from Greg. Can attendees configure their personal user bar before the conference start on 9/28?
No, you cannot customize this navigation bar at the top.
Perfect. So then I'm going to move on to some questions for our member panelists, if that's all right. Let's see, our first question. What general tips would you offer to people who are attending a virtual conference for the first time?
As far as the conference is concerned, in this case, we're not doing live meetings, right? So all of the conferences, all of the presentations are there available online. So, if you have an unlimited amount of time, you can go through all of them. But generally speaking, the way I approach these things is pick out the ones that I really want to get into, and then the ones that I would like to, right, and go through in that order.
Right, Carly touched on this earlier. The event guide provides an attendee an opportunity to read through what's going to be available as part of the expo, and I use that as a tool to look through and see relative to technologies that I'm interested in learning more about, to target companies I want to visit. As well, Carly highlighted what's new, because when I go to a conference, I'm generally trying to figure out what's new. Touch base or research specific technologies, and then 3, meet with key suppliers that we work with, and that's something even ahead of the event. I've already started arranging or sharing the intention that I would like the opportunity to meet with them specifically during the expo and what I'd like to cover. So a little pre-work now will help those 3 days be much more rewarding.
I would just add, based on the technical conference is on demand, you can focus a lot more on the 3 days in the exhibition hall, especially like Greg said, if you're trying to get new equipment or look at what's new out in the exhibition hall, as well as in terms of the Discord, kind of if you've never used it or a very light user of it, kind of get used to the user interface now, get your feet wet now, so when you do get into Discord, you have ample opportunity to network within the Discord.
Thank you. All right, so our next question is, do you research before a virtual event? And if so, what are the most important things to know pre-event?
Research is definitely important before an event like this. I would say now would be the time where you're talking with your management and your team about if there's CapEx available for next year for large equipment. Start finding whether it be 3 to 5 companies that have that equipment, and then start targeting the application engineers at those companies to be able to, even if it's in a Zoom session, show, here's some samples I want to send you. Let's start making preparing to get this evaluation done post exhibition.
Thank you. All right. So I know we went over it on the HQ side, but how can I network during an event as an attendee? What has worked for you in the past?
Well, from a virtual perspective, from the events that I've attended, you have to really, because you can't connect with people face to face like you normally would at a traditional event. You have to, step out and introduce yourself. Be open to just popping into booths that you're not quite sure, what they're about, or reference that event guide, and ask them to share, what's new and interesting that they have to highlight this year at the show.
I do want to pop in here for some other networking opportunities. We do have those special events that are great networking opportunities, and we have events for everyone. So we have the Students and Young Professionals program. They're doing a mixology class and happy hour. That's taking place on Tuesday. They also have the Jumpstart program, and that's going to be through the SMTA booth that you guys saw earlier. We have the Women's Leadership program. We have decided to continue that virtually. That is on Wednesday, and that will have technical presentations, the roundtables, so to speak, and then we will go into our connection reception. And Michelle and Sherry, our reception hosts, have really made this year special, even virtually. So please register for that. We also offer a Gen X and Boomer happy hour, and that would be taking place on Tuesday as well. You can find more information with our special events on the main SMTA International website.
I think Greg really hit the big difference there, is that you're not going to run into people walking down the aisles or have, find someone you didn't know you wanted to talk to while you're in front of a booth, right? So you really do have to take that little bit of extra effort, sign up for these events that were just mentioned. And if you're considering talking to someone at a booth, you can't stand in front of it awkwardly until the exhibitor comes out to talk to you. Just go into the chat and take that extra little bit of pushing yourself to meet these people and have the conversations that you normally would have at events like this that are in person.
Yeah, networking is a huge part of the SMTA, and it's always fun to walk around the exhibition hall and just run into everyone you've met at previous years. But I'm just going to echo what everyone said. Sign up for all the events you can. Just put yourself out there, even if it's just a quick introduction. Someone will get back to you. You'll meet lots of people still, and you can still exchange all the information digitally, and then keep in touch via email, phone, and then when we eventually get back to in-person events, you get to meet them face to face.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So someone had mentioned Zoom meetings earlier. Can they share those links on the chat platform? And if they have a live demo, is that how they do that? I think that's more for our HQ team.
Yeah, so you can either do live demos through Zoom. You can set up a link and you can share it with, if there's a group of people from one company that want to see it, or just a group of people in general, you can do it through a free Zoom account. And then you can also do video chats, but those are going to be one-on-one. So basically the person you're chatting with, they'd all have to be in the same location. So you can only do one-on-one with video chats, but you can use Zoom for group demos and that sort of thing.
While I have you, Courtney, one more question for you. How soon will presenters be sent any questions submitted? That might be either you or Carly.
It might be Carly.
I can answer this one. Presenters won't automatically get a notification email. That's why we encourage them to go back. We've also been talking about having one person just be keeping an eye on the ball with questions and then reaching out to speakers. But we encourage them to kind of check their presentation, once a day to get through the questions that were submitted and kind of go through that way. That's why, same with attendees, they're not going to get the automatic email that their question has been answered. So again, checking back within 24 hours to see that your question's been answered, as well as any questions on your presentation.
Thank you. All right, so let's go back to our member panelists. We'd like to know what's one thing you wish you knew before your first virtual event.
Personally speaking, is how to navigate the platform. I spent quite a bit of time at the first virtual event that I attended just trying to figure out the navigation of moving in and out of the booths and how to connect with people and the different features that were part of that program. So I'm really pleased that as an organization we're doing webinars like this where we can provide some insight to the hands-on aspect of the conference.
For me, is knowing that like all these technical presentations and kind of, you could say live presentations were on demand. My first virtual event, I spent a lot of time just going to presentations instead of being able to spend time talking with the exhibitors and some of the people that were there live at the time.
Thank you. All right, we have another question. Is it good to use your reps to get to the right people?
Yes. And
Yeah,
actually, go ahead, Andrew.
The reps are your best friend, especially in terms of getting connected with the right person in the exhibit hall. Like if you're there to window shop, you're probably going to talk to a sales rep. If you're there to actually talk about applications and what you can do with that machine in your factory, you're going to want to talk to an applications engineer. And the rep is the person that makes that connection for you.
David, anything to add? Because I do want to touch base on that as well.
Oh, no, go ahead. Simple answer,
I encourage, yeah, and in this virtual format, everybody's a little uneasy on what it's going to work out to be. But traditionally, before going to a face-to-face conference, reps would be reaching out to you saying, hey, are you going? What are you interested in? All the things we've kind of talked about here today. So I encourage those that are attending and have needs in as far as materials, chemistries, and equipment, services, for example, to reach out to your reps and ask them what opportunities are to meet with companies that they work with, or what new technologies are the companies that they're going to be part of the event that they have to share, and try and engage them so they're part of this whole conversation in the virtual environment.
Thank you. All right, so I've got one other question for you. And what, in your opinion, can make a memorable impression with virtual exhibitors?
I think it's being prepared, kind of like we said earlier, do your research early on, especially if you know the type of equipment or material or chemistry or a service you're looking after, knowing kind of exactly, where to go, doing your homework beforehand, and then knowing what questions to ask that you need to get answered to bring back to your factory in order to, whether it be justify that equipment or start getting that piece of equipment in to your factory.
At a typical in-person trade show, you're going to walk up to a booth and get some sort of demo on the equipment, right? You're going to handle it, you're going to kick it or throw something in it or whatever you might be looking for. In this case, not going to be able to do that as well, right? So in an in-person trade show, for us, we have x-ray machines. So if someone comes with something they want to x-ray, makes it very obvious this person is very interested, right? That leaves an impression. In this case, since we can't do that as well virtually, as Andrew was saying, you come with the questions, you know what you're looking for, you've done a little bit of homework, maybe you know a model you think might be the right one for you. But even if you don't want to spend the time going that far, just knowing generally what you're looking for is a really big help. Right. And what kind of next steps you want to be taking as well. Sorry, Greg, go ahead.
No, and I was just going to add the economies of scale as far as what relative to what you're looking at, that you need to be able to accommodate, so they can help point and illustrate for you what they have in that range.
I just add, like if you know you're going to be sending samples out for eval or something, now might be the time to be getting those NDAs signed. So if you do jump into a Zoom meeting, you can show drawings or maybe any proprietary information with a company if you're looking to get kind of feedback or kind of introduce them to the eval that they'll be doing.
Thank you so much. So I have one other question for my HQ team. Is there a list of new products or services by exhibit or company on the SMTAI website?
Courtney, I'm gonna let you take that one since you were the one that made that page.
Okay. So it's not actually up yet. We're still in the process of collecting all the information from exhibitors. But by next Monday, we should have that up and running. And it'll be on our website. There will also be a link to it from the main lobby of the Expo Hall.
And will that also be pushed out as well, Courtney, to
Yes.
SMTA members?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, that's a very useful guide.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. So if there was a question that I didn't get to that was either a repeat or a personal question, I will be answering you in an email after this. Please make sure to check out the recording after it's sent out if you missed anything regarding demonstrations for use of Discord, the walkthrough on the virtual platform, or just to check out any other questions that you missed so you can get your answers. And please make sure to share it with anyone that you know that might need those answers as well. So this concludes our webinar. Thank you so much to our panelists for volunteering their time and knowledge for us today. We welcome further attendee comments, suggestions, and other input. A short survey will be delivered. Please take a few moments to complete it as it is valuable for us at SMTA. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day. And we hope to see you at the next event.